We recently received shocking news. Finally, the XRPSEC case is over. Guys, this is a huge turning point for the whole XRP and Ripple community. And I want to explain why this is so significant for XRP going ahead in this video. However, we also made a huge acquisition from Ripple, purchasing a massive cryptocurrency that no anyone is aware of. And coming forward, this will have a significant impact on XRP. I want to discuss these two topics in this video, along with how they will impact the price of XRP. Guys, be sure to stay for the entire event. It is something you won't want to miss. As always, this channel really appreciates your support. We appreciate everyone who takes the time to subscribe to the channel and like these videos. These two easy things are a huge assistance to me. Additionally, be sure to visit my favorite exchange listed in the video's description if you ever need a location to purchase XRP. Having said that, let's get started, and I hope you all like the material. I would want to begin this video by congratulating each and every one of you. The fight against the SEC has not been simple. We recently concluded what was effectively a 5-year legal battle against the SEC, and folks, a huge pat on the back should go to anyone who maintained conviction throughout this entire case. Going through anything like this and maintaining confidence is difficult, particularly when price action isn't always acting as we had hoped, at least not in the beginning. I believe that everyone realized this was a joke by the case's conclusion. It was going to be Ripple, and there was no security for XRP. However, in the beginning, many people were unsure about how exactly this would work out. Almost all of the legal experts in the field were stating in the early going, "Look, Ripple has very little chance of winning this. This is probably a death sentence for Ripple and XRP going forward, as XRP will become a security." Brad Garlinghouse and 𝗙𝗶H were made fun of by everyone for even retaliating. Many claimed that XRP will never again rank in the top 10 of the cryptocurrency market, and that Ripple was dead and gone. And everyone was entirely mistaken in spite of all of it. We were the only ones who maintained our confidence throughout. We realized that not all of the information being spread by these individuals was necessarily accurate. The fact that we didn't approach this from a biased standpoint was also one of my favorite aspects of it. We carefully examined the information that was being offered. During the whole XRPSEC case, the SEC failed to provide any rational arguments. Everything we observed demonstrated that XRP was not a security, and that Ripple took every precaution to adhere to the law. I found the entire XRPSEC case to be really fascinating. Because the SEC examined every action taken by Ripple, including emails sent to the company's first employees and Slack messages from 2014, I became even more optimistic about Ripple and XRP. After going through everything, they were unable to identify a single item that didn't demonstrate the utmost level of professionalism from Ripple and the organization that I could have ever imagined. It's completely crazy. To be honest, I imagined things would get much worse. You see, when you go to a company's birth, you never know what people were discussing back then. They most likely didn't even know any better. I reasoned. I had no intention of holding it against them. However, from the beginning, Ripple has done a fantastic job of ensuring that they uphold the greatest standard of professionalism possible in order to eventually become the most significant institutional cryptocurrency company on the planet. Throughout the whole XRPSEC case, that was evident. Thus, when all was said and done, XRP emerged victorious and Ripple emerged victorious by a considerable margin. XRP is not and never will be a security. It is not possible to repeat this instance. In my opinion, Ripple has emerged as the leading cryptocurrency firm in the industry, and this issue has been formally resolved. In essence, this is the most significant and most likely illuminating audit of any business on the planet. In this instance, anything that Ripple did that was even remotely dubious would have been revealed, but nothing at all did. Look, it's all out there. So let me just say that this is going to be a big thing for Ripple's partners going forward. There is nothing more to conceal. "Oh, they're doing this behind the scenes," said everyone who disparaged Ripple. Yes, they have a lot of dubious actors. Well, blah 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 blah. They were shown to be entirely incorrect when it comes to their attempts to FUD XRP and Ripple. They are now without a backup plan. I'd like to go ahead and show you the file right away. Here it is. James K. petition stating that a joint motion to dismiss has been filed by the parties. That concludes it. The case is finished. In essence, we are now back to actual institutional adoption of what is perhaps the most significant payment and liquidity technology ever developed on Earth. DYOR 𝗙𝗶 also came out and stated that the SEC and Ripple formally filed directly with the Second Circuit to have their appeals dismissed in light of the Commission's action today. The conclusion. Now let's go back to business. Stuart Alderott's mindset is something I adore. Back to work following this whole legal circus. You know what? Ripple expanded, XRP increased in value. And the XRP army, as well as all of you, have only grown more certain that XRP will eventually surpass all other cryptocurrencies in importance. The SEC tried everything they could to stop it, but in my view, they just fueled the flames and increased the likelihood that it would eventually succeed tenfold. Having stated that, I would like to discuss a huge acquisition made by Ripple earlier today, which, in my opinion, only increases the likelihood of that success. One of the intriguing aspects of Ripple's acquisition is that they continue to find and buy enormous crypto infrastructure components that nobody is aware of. Initially, it was Medico, a cryptocurrency custody behemoth that was little discussed, but which provided Ripple with market dominance. Then, a prime broker named 𝗙𝗏 who no one discussed cleared trillions of dollars a year, effectively connecting ProudFi to the cryptocurrency market instantly, giving institutional investors a one-stop shop to enter this market. Ripple uses 𝗙𝗏 to do it, one of the largest and most significant uses of cryptocurrencies that we may ever see. And once more, and guess what? Once more, Ripple does it. The news that Ripple is purchasing Whale surfaced earlier today. You most likely have no idea who Whale is. To be honest, I was unaware of them. Ironically, however, about 10% of all stablecoin transactions worldwide are made through Whale, the business that Ripple purchased earlier today. This is completely crazy. This business, which Ripple recently purchased for $200 million, accounts for 10% of the $36 billion in B2B coin transactions worldwide. This is really enormous. In order to transfer all of the volume that Whale's company has been performing on the XRP ledger utilizing our LUSD, Ripple just acquired a Goliath in the stablecoin industry. Adoption can be bootstrapped in this way. All of the fame is already on Ripple. All the praise is already theirs. The reputation is already theirs. They are currently consuming all of the cryptocurrency market's payment and liquidity activity, consuming their rivals, bringing it all in-house, and putting it all straight onto the XRP ledger. Many people are undoubtedly questioning if this is a shift away from Ripple and towards stablecoins, from XRP. I'll put this to bed again, though I'm not sure how often I'll have to. With pleasure, too. Ultimately, Bank of America will not accept a JP Morgan stablecoin in the future reality we are entering. Why would they? What will Bank of America do with all these JP Morgan stablecoins if JP Morgan